Please be aware that this is a summary video of a longer video that I did on better gains by doing less. If you want to have a look at the longer video, check out the pinned comment. It's also in the description. And let's now explore what this research means to older adults. Like, what can you garner from the work that's been done? And then look at how we can translate that into meaningful training approaches or how we can implement some of the findings. First, what this research shows is that you can do 40 to 50% less training volume and achieve practically everything and perhaps a little bit more by executing or performing the set prior to muscle failure. When we balance all of those things and tick off what advances are being made, you can see that they're achieved with a much lower volume. That becomes a very attractive training approach. Second, we know that power declines faster than strength. Like, if we look at the percentage differences, you're looking at a 3 to 4% loss of power per year after you turn 50 versus this 1 to 2% for muscle strength. So it's a much more sensitive parameter in terms of the loss of power as we age. And that's a very important thing to be aware of. Third, we know that muscle power is the most important physiological capacity in terms of this daily life. Like, whether you're looking at stairs, balance, chair rise, walking, staying upright, all of the research shows that muscle power is the strongest predictor of those things, or strongest associative thing of those things being executed well as we grow older. Fourth, what we actually know about this type of training, this low velocity loss resistance training, and ceasing that set before you get to failure, what the research is now showing is that there's less fatigue associated with that training. And what that means is that in that 24 hours to 48 hours post workout, it's taking a lot longer to recover from training to failure. Now, the consequences to those watching is that if you train and leave some in the tank, so you don't go all out and to complete muscle failure, and you leave some in the tank, you will recover quicker, which means you can accumulate more actual training. So over the long term, feasibly, you're going to get stronger, quicker, faster, etc. The other things to be aware of is things like training consistency, adherence, and energy for life. You're going to feel a lot more energized if you're not so fatigued post workout. So for those that have got other things that they've got interest in to do, this is a really good training approach. The key here in terms of this type of training is the intention, that intent to move rapidly. And finally, this really is where I pose a question to the viewers, to those watching the video. Could this be a quicker, better, smarter way to train? There are some key principles that you need to bear in mind, that you need to be cognizant of. Firstly, is this starting with the basics. You have to develop the foundation before, like that saying, you have to walk before you run. Same with this. If you've never tried this training, don't rip in and just go for it straight off the bat. You're really asking to be injured or create some sort of problem. So you need to start with the basics, develop that technique and form, and develop a foundation before you start speeding up this intention. And once you develop this form and technique, then you can gradually, progressively bring in this intent or intention to move more rapidly. So that would be the sequence of events that you would need to take care of to leverage some of the benefits from this training. If you found this helpful, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.